you there? How do you feel when you put in so much effort to do something and people compliment you and appreciate you for the task done? It's an awesome feeling, right? I can agree to that. And this is normal. As humans as we are, there is this spot on our inside that craves for appreciation, that craves to be encouraged in whatever that we do. Now, there are times when humans may not appreciate you, they may not encourage you for the things that you do. This is so normal. I'm sure it has happened to you before, but if it hasn't happened to you, trust me, it will surely happen. As long as you are human, and as long as you live on earth, and as long as you relate with other humans, they may not appreciate you, they may not encourage you for the things that you do. This doesn't mean that they intentionally do that. No. Sometimes they are not even aware of the task that you're doing, or they are just oblivious of the efforts that you're putting into whatever activity that you're doing. So the question is, what do you do in that case? What do you do when people don't appreciate you, when people don't encourage you? Because when people encourage you, it boosts your morale to do more. So what happens when people don't encourage you? You've got to learn how to encourage your own self. Yes. Learn to be your own encourager. Learn to be your own cheerleader. Don't wait for the applause of man. If you decide to wait for the applause of man, trust me, you may sit at the same spot and rot. Let me give you an example. There was a king in the Bible by name King David. His enemies had come into the city to capture his people, and they burnt down the city. But David had a few people that surrounded him, and normally we would expect these people to, encourage David by saying, well, it is well, everything is going to be okay. But guess what they did? They intended to rather stone David. Yes, that's funny, I don't know, that's really amazing, or whatever you can think of, but this is something that we cannot imagine. They intended to stone King David. But what does the Bible say in 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 6, the B part? It says that, but David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. You see that? He did not wait for people to encourage him because there was no one to encourage him. So he decided to encourage himself. And right after encouraging himself, he went on ahead to inquire of the Lord on what to do. And God told him that he should pursue, he should overtake, and he should recover everything that the enemy had stolen or had destroyed. So you see, anytime you encourage yourself, it releases the needed strength. It releases the momentum that you really need to take on the next assignment. Let me give you another example. God Almighty himself at creation, he had to encourage himself. He didn't need man to, encourage him right after creating something. Anytime God created something on a particular day, he always said, it was good or it is good. There was no audience of man, but God decided to encourage himself. And anytime or after he had encouraged himself, he moved on to the next assignment. Remember this always, that self-encouragement releases the needed strength. It releases the momentum needed to take on the next assignment. What are your action steps to take? Number 1, don't ever wait for the applause of men. You may end up sitting at the same spot and rot. Action number 2, every time you do something, especially something good for yourself, don't let it pass. No. Wait, reflect on that, give yourself a compliment, encourage yourself, and then move on to the next task. Now, even if you do something that is so bad, trust me, you don't have to sit and pity yourself. No. Just let it go, encourage yourself, and move on to the next task, and surely things will get better. So remember this always, that self-encouragement releases the needed strength, it releases the momentum to take up next assignments. Until I see you again in our next episode, keep on encouraging yourself. You need that strength to take on the next assignment. Stay blessed.